It's good to have a future vision for your app. When you let a dream stand in the way of progress today, that's all it'll ever be, a dream. And then a nightmare, a $50,000 nightmare. I have two real stories to share about past clients of mine. Both have three things in common. The first thing, both spent a ton of money. The client in the first story spent $50,000, and the second one finished an entire government grant. Second, neither launched their app, so all that money was wasted. And third, this was all due to extremely predictable and avoidable mistakes. I'm sharing this because while the Adrian today calls these mistakes predictable, I've had the benefit and misfortune of seeing them happen and make some myself. So today, when it comes to building apps, it's like I'm looking at a guillotine. There is a line of business owners new to it, all waiting for their turn to get decapitated. Uncle Adrian wants to help save you from that. Every time you fall, you might not get up again. Case in point, the two stories I'll be sharing. Learn from the mistakes of others. The guy in front of you falls, you go, let's not do that. You could still end up making uncommon mistakes. That just means the universe hates you and nothing will save you. Here's story number one. Story number one, $50K and no app to launch. I started Upside Studio in 2017 and this client came to us in 2019. So very early on in my journey of helping business owners build apps, I was still approaching clients with too much of an employee mindset. You know, if your boss says do something, you do it. Because you feel like you need this job. You're afraid if you push back, what if they go somewhere else? You don't feel secure enough to be 100% honest when they never ask you for your opinion. So our clients were already running a successful recruitment agency in Malaysia. They wanted to build a location-based job marketplace targeting low to middle income earners or short-term contract workers. A marketplace always means building at least two apps, right? One for buyers and one for sellers. In this case, one for job posters and one for job seekers. Okay, cool. They had a long list of necessary features the app had to have the moment it was launched. Resume builders, credit systems for employees to unlock said resumes, chat boxes, many more. We didn't think it was necessary, but okay, cool. But they also had a marketing plan with a fixed launch date. Here's where I f***ed up. We told them what they wanted was doable within the deadline. We underestimated the complexity of the scope, but the real mistake was not pushing back on the list of necessary features. We knew they were essential for the first version. We were just too afraid to tell them. Again, your boss tells you to do something, you do it. And worse, as development went on, they would ask for more features. We never told them anything except, okay, saying it now, I feel so icky. I want to go back and spank the shit out of this young Adrian. If only I could turn back time. But you live and learn. Their launch date was drawing closer, and no surprise, their app would not be ready in time with all the bells and whistles and fancy features they wanted. So I proposed we launch a more basic version of the app that would still showcase the USP. It would be an MVP that measured user interest. If that version couldn't get traction, a million more features wouldn't change anything. They said no. They were afraid that users wouldn't return unless it was 100% complete. If you're new to app development, app is never 100% complete. They are all works in progress. Even super big and successful software products are a constant works in progress. That's not how building and launching software works. But it was all or nothing for this client. And again, they were the boss. That's what they wanted, so against my better judgment, I said, okay. So we delayed the launch and continued development. And then, hit the fan. The client's recruitment company imploded. It was co-owned by a few partners who got into a huge disagreement, and the one who was supposed to lead the app launch and marketing left. The app was basically completed by now, so I went to the office to present it, and I got reverse Uno style. The remaining partner wanted to forget it ever existed. Upstack Studio builds based on milestones using agile methodology at the time. We develop in 2-week cycles of review and development sprints, and at the end of the project, once all invoices are paid, we pass the client the code base. We just finished everything from employer dashboards to a cross-platform mobile application. I invoiced them for the remaining $15,000 and they straight up said, no, we don't want the app, you keep it, but we're not paying a cent. And I said, what the f am I going to do with a recruitment app? Give me my money. And they said, make us. And I said, keep my money. Then I ate a lot of ice creams and cried myself to sleep. 15,000 bucks is a lot for me today. Back then, when we were a new agency, just trying to make it, it was huge. In Malaysia, that's a developer's entire annual salary. And I'm an empathetic person, so I've also felt bad for my ex-clients. Yes, they didn't pay this final invoice. Total move on their part. But up to that point, they had paid us $50,000 for the work we're done. They could have launched a simpler version of the app and tested the market for less than that. But for them, all or nothing. You can't approach software like this. Meanwhile, I knew Upstack Studio had to change how we work. Just saying yes to clients who don't know how app development works would end up biting us. So we changed. We started nudging back. But we challenged them to explain themselves instead of just saying, okay, for everything. And of course, not everyone wants a developer like this. Some really just want robots. But most really appreciate it because they're not looking at me and my team as employees, but as subject matter experts. In 2024, we have no problems telling potential clients that what they want isn't realistic. I've done a video on prioritization. You take features you think you need and you filter them through 3 key questions. You'll find you don't need a lot of them, and every feature you slash means lower cost and shorter development times. Now, we always walk our potential client through this prioritization stage and we have to align. Takeaways. Be careful with developers that only say yes. Listen to developers who advise you to start small. There's no such thing as all or nothing in software. My team and I at Upstack Studio help non-technical entrepreneurs grow past $5 to $10 million in annual revenue with custom software. We've worked with over 30 leading brands across industries. These businesses were stuck where no ready-made solution on the market solved their problem. To continue growing, they had to make their own solution. If your business is also currently stuck at this 5 to 10 million level and you want to explore custom solutions, let me help. There's a link in the description to sign up for a free, no strings attached strategy session. We'll dissect your current constraint together and you get an honest opinion about whether custom software is your answer. And if yes, we decide if we can work together. If it's not, you just save yourself from a very big investment with no ROI. Apply through the link and we'll be in touch. I'm only taking 3 of these calls per month and it's first come, first serve. So if you want to work with me, apply now. Back to the video. These clients are kind of typical where they are non-technical, so it's expected that they won't be experts on the coding side of things. The next story shows how dangerous it is when the developer, the one supposed to be the expert, is equally clueless about how things work. Story number 2, 90% complete app, 100% complete crap. This client had a grant from MDEC, the Malaysian Digital Economy Corporation, a government body that funds tech projects. They came to us asking if we could put the final finishing touches on their almost completed app. Their technical co-founder had already done most of the coding. There were just some small bugs with the code base. I said, sure, let's take a look. So we took a look and you know when you lift the toilet bowl cover and you see turds floating around? That's what it was like opening the 90% completed app. I'm not even talking about the code base. I was just looking at the app. Bad design, bad navigation, bad everything. Then we look at the code base and I was like, Mamma mia, this is some good spaghetti. Long-term maintenance and update would be impossible. And forget adding new features. How could a technical co-founder do this to their own project? It turned out their co-founder was a back-end developer who had no experience building a mobile app or connecting the two. He technically did build an app here, but there's a difference between making something for yourself versus putting something out on the market. It's a big difference that they didn't appreciate and really thought the app was 90% ready. There's a reason why we have back-end, front-end, and full-stack developers. You stay in your own lane. So we told them if they wanted us to work on it, their code base needed to be redone, not repaired. We also asked them to seriously consider redoing the UI UX. Problem was, a good chunk of their grant had already been spent. I remember thinking, on what? But my team and I looked at what we could do within their budget and got to work. We had to fire them before we could finish properly.
You're fired. You're fired.
They asked us for more changes beyond the initial agreement. We told them, okay, but the price would go up because it meant more man hours. And they said it should stay the same out of goodwill. In business, goodwill means the intangible value of a company in addition to its assets, things like brand reputation, IP, and many more. To them, goodwill means free labor. I should have said no from the start, but I let them get away with it 3 times. 4th time they asked, I was the guillotine. And I don't think the app ever launched, just a big pile of government money wasted. Takeaways: make sure your technical team has the right skills to do their job. Don't ask your developers or anyone else to do work for free. Government grants are sweet. Gamble with other people's money. It still amazed me they thought they had done a great job. Shows how dangerous a blind spot is. Guys, I started this channel to stop business owners like you from turning into horror stories like the one that I just shared. Software development is already brutal. The last thing you want to be doing is dumb shit like getting a backend developer to build your front end. The more people see this video, the more people we get to help from making these mistakes. So please subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, and YouTube will help spread this message far and wide. And in the meantime, I want you guys to watch this video where I go over how you can take an app from zero to launch in 12 weeks. Yes, 12 weeks. It's all about prioritizing and getting something in the hands of users as soon as possible, and what you as the business owner should do to make that happen. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let's see how you can launch an app in 12 weeks. Cheers guys!